Jesus!
Charles, please.
Jesus!
See what happens, Larry? This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry. This is what happens, Larry. You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
Ken Shamrock, you're just a boy. You're trick-or-treating at the wrong door. He's not a cheap shark.
Cara rari temperatin. Sankambanwa.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
I'm getting so tired. People ask me, "Did you ever fight Ken Shamrock? Did you ever fight Ken Shamrock?"
This is virtual reality.
That's right, fight fans. It is virtual reality, and I am the most dangerous man alive today. Hold on, let's turn on the chat box. Let's turn on to Pedro. We got the Pedro. He's not in this Universal Vale Tudo Fighting event. But since this is the last Universal Vale Tudo Fighting event ever, Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 6, I decided, you know what? He's the one that was pretty much the star of the promotion in the beginning. He kind of faded away, went off and did other things. But he's here in spirit. He's here. And let me refresh my chat box. Nothing's showing. What the hell? Refresh the chat box. What the fuck is going on now? This stupid shit. OBS or Streamlabs here is kind of stupid. Let me fix that. I'm gonna fix it real quick. Can y'all hear me okay? After the serious problems I had last week with the microphone, it's all back to fix, and I don't want to admit how stupid. Come on, chat box. What are you, Pedro? Fuck. Stupid Streamlabs here. You mother effer. See, it's not I should just switch over to OBS. Oh my god. Shit. And now I've run over. Hold on, everybody. Stand by. Stand by while I fix something. Hold on. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to fix my. I ran over my cable with my chair. So yeah, these mother effers. I'm gonna have to go back to the old chat box, I think. Don't need that. Close that. This chat box is not working. Anyway, I'll get this figured out. So OBS, I've went back to Streamlabs just because the widgets work, and the widgets I'm talking about is this stuff. Right here. This, if it works. the browser source, display capture, browser source. Now nothing's working. There it is. Nothing's working. Ah, fuck me. Anyway, let's just go with it. Let's just go on. I'd have to close down Streamlabs, then open up OBS, and that will mess everything up. So anyway, fight fans, we're here to watch Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 6. Tonight we're going to be treated to a heavyweight tournament. It's a short heavyweight tournament, but it features Kevin Randleman, and he fights a bunch of Pride faves or semi-faves in the beginning, such as Carlos Barreto, Ebenezer Fontes Braga is in it, and some other guys I can't remember right now. But anyway, let's watch it. I'm going to press play right now. I think this one is only in mono. I do not think it works in stereo. It's only coming out of one speaker. Let me know if you can hear the audio fine, everybody. I'm gonna try and fix something. I'm gonna work on the old chat. This is an extremely horrible, absolutely atrocious VHS rip. Universal Vale Tudo Fighting, it says right there. Not sure what's that is all about. And I'm going to try and figure out why Streamlabs here is not showing this as transparent. Them cocksuckers over at Streamlabs. You guys listen to the ring announcer here. He's hard to see. The video is so grainy and so shit. And that's what's great about these Universal Vale Tudo Fighting events here. Oh my god, there we go. Bazinga! I did it. Am I fading in and out? Or is I'm not fading in and out. The video is fading in and out. I apologize. There's nothing I can do. I didn't make a rip of this. I don't know who did make a rip of this. God bless them. But they did a shit job. I think this rip is probably about 15 years old before they got the codecs kind of sorted. So it is pretty shitty. And I think it's only, I don't think there's anything I can do about this audio here. It says it says the audio track is in stereo, but I don't think it is. So I'm going to change it to, nope, that's not doing anything. I sound better, thanks. I hope I do. I don't think there's anything I can do about this audio. Is the audio here only coming out of, maybe I might have messed up. I might have jacked up my headset. I think my headset's gone. God, if I could test out the widgets here. We got babes in the ring. Yeah, see, my widgets aren't even. The whole reason I'm using Streamlabs right now is so I could do the widgets. So I could actually do the widgets. The widgets aren't even working. Why'd I open up Streamlabs? I could have just used OBS. Is my life. Nothing goes my way when I'm trying to stream. It is a shit show and a half. But that's a part of the appeal. Hopefully it never gets better, because if it ever gets better to like professional quality, then I'm no longer on the underground. I'm a part of the mainstream. I don't want to be a part of the mainstream. So we got babes in singlet leotards here. Okay. So my audio is clearly working in stereo. Thiago Silva says, "O volume está baixo." Does anybody translate? Translate for me. asking to turn up the audio, turn up the volume on the video here. I can only do so much. And it's only coming out of one speaker, and there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. I think I can't, I've tried, let's see if I can force it to stereo. No, that didn't work. No. Mixing. No. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, look at that! Hey, I'm gonna have to fix that later because I jacked every setting up in that. I jacked all the settings up in that little dialogue I was just in. I'm probably gonna forget, and it's probably gonna be fucked up forever. And I'll always be wondering what the fuck did I do. But there, I've got it. I've got from right channel only to stereo. We're making progress. So you guys admire the babes. I'm gonna open up a window here, so I have the stats on who's in front of me. We have that sounds like a lady. I can't see what's going on. What's happening? Okay, one of the ring babes is being interviewed. Why? I don't know. And they kind of look at this. How fucking shitty is your production quality? They just did a freeze frame. So if they've done a freeze frame of her, or let's see, because I wasn't watching the screen when they did this. So there's the babe. She's prancing around. And then I think they're just gonna randomly freeze it. Okay. So they still have the background. They still have the background back here. I can still see the ring. Anyway. Let's see who's here. Who is here? Rob Hill's joined us. He said, I'm going to be in and out of the chat, but I'll be with you guys in spirit the whole time. Mo Hollywood says, you okay, big guy? Tiago Silva says, is the Pedro there? Tiago Silva, the Pedro is here with us in spirit. Chief 910 is with us. What's up, people? What's up, Chief 910? We hear you. Can barely hear you, buddy. Wonderful. Wow, wow, wow. Paddle, says Mo Holliday. Oh, boy. Sound balance. You're fading in and out. You sound better, Team Jesus. We're getting through that. More legs, says Chief 910. Oh, volume está bajo, says Tiago Silva. Her legs are thicker than Kevin Randleman's. Dyson Viper says thick. Mo Hollywood says, okay, I could look at her for a while now. Is it just me, or is this mic a little low? I don't know what more I can do to boost up the volume here. I'll try and boost up my volume. This is gonna might over boost it here though, so I don't want to make it too loud. I don't want to hit criticals. We've had a glitch in the system. No, we didn't. That's my fault. Hold on, everybody. No glitch in the system. I turned off the thing I'm using here. Voice meter, which, just in case anybody decides to join, just in case anybody out there wants to join the stream, I've got it pre-set up now, so it'll work. You join on Google Hangouts. So here is our brackets. You see Carlos Barreto is going to be taking on Kevin Randleman first, and that is likely going to be our first matchup here. Kevin Randleman, previous winner of Universal Vale Tudo Fighting #4. This guy just said something Americano. He's got glasses on. He looks like your dad. That's, so Carlos Barreto versus Kevin Randleman is not the first fight of the evening. I might need to turn down the volume here on the video. We're going to see Fernando Bosco taking on Douglas Aquina. Looks like we are missing out on a preliminary fight of Luis Roberto Duarte and Egidio Amara da Costa. They fought earlier before, and we're not going to see that, unfortunately. So we're going to see Bosco here, who I think is he's from Brazil. Churchiari I thought he was from Peru, but I guess not. Fernando Chuchiari Bosco. Not sure what Bosco means. Hello. This chick is ridiculous. She is insane. This is not, she's like, I think this is the same chick from last one, Universal Vale Tudo Fighting 5. I said she could play a good Chun-Li. She would be like, and YouTube is watching very closely here. We don't have to worry because we're not seeing anything that you can't see in a magazine if you pick up. But holy mackerel, she is like all thighs. Whoa. How is this even possible? This, my friends, this. Chief 910, just a recommendation. If you can turn up the volume on whatever you're watching a little bit more, you might be able to hear me better. I think I got it boosted pretty much as it can go, and I don't want to hit the reds here. It'll sound especially bad. But I am relying on you guys to keep me assessed of the volumes here. So here comes Douglas Aquino, who I think is an American. No, he's not. He is from Brazil. This is his second fight. He previously had fought Fernando Chuchiari at the previous Universal Vale Tudo Fighting event, Universal Vale Tudo Fighting 5. He lost, and so I guess they're going to fight again for some reason. So there's Douglas Aquino. Looks like a fine, upstanding gentleman. It looks like a guy who you could go out and drink with. In fact, it looks like he might have been drinking before this interview here. I like his little backwards tank top he's got going on. But you could just hang out with him and just make jokes about him all night, and he wouldn't even bat an eye. I don't know if it's the color reproduction of our rip here, but there's like no difference between the color of his eyes and the color of his skin. He is a goofy looking fucker. Gentlemen Combatives is here. Listen, you're up. It's early for him. But why don't you go into Google Hangouts, buddy, old pal? As my neighbor mows the lawn right outside my window. At least if you want to join, Alistair. Alistair, you tell me if you want to join or not. I'll open up Google Hangouts here. Rob Hill says he looks like a guy who you would see in county jail for domestic abuse. Yeah, that is a good one. I'd like to hear some more. Who does Douglas Aquino look like? Dude stole my wallet, says Tyson Viper. He sounds ill. He might be ready to cry here. He sounds big swallow right there. You see that? Big swallow. Glunk. He might be ready to cry. Maybe this fight is for money that he desperately needs to get surgery for his daughter. Oh, he's talking about Hickson?
Os adversários não tinham conhecimento de chão. Tanto é que hoje eles não aceitam mais fazer as lutas. Porque eles sabem muito bem que se hoje ele for fazer uma luta, ele vai dar mal. Para hoje a expectativa é que eu ganhe.
He's got a very sweet voice. Oh,
o mais rápido possível.
He's He might have been ready to cry.
Na bronca aí. O Douglas Aquino em função de mudanças que aconteceram no Vale Tudo, mas vamos pro combate.
Alright, Alistair's not on Google Hangouts. He's not logged in. Here we go! Round one, kick by Aquino. Lock up there by Chuchiari. That one guy you never want to meet has joined us. He's giving Dumbo a run for his money with those ears. Nice. Well, considering this is his second pro fight. His first pro fight was at Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 5. He lost to Chuchiari there. Chuchiari here has fallen on top of him in mount. This is not good for Aquino. He's got, looks like he had the arms tied up there, but he's lost the grip on there now. Now he has little control to impede Churchiari here. Team Jesus says he looks like he has a few DWI arrests. Keep him coming. Keep him coming. That's good stuff here. He's gonna get pounded out here. He's flailing, but he's getting rocked. That's it. Whoa! Ref, long-haired ref here, dives on top of a crazy Churchiari. Churchiari. I don't know how to say his name exactly. He falls on top here. Now, this is bad. Right from the get-go. And once he postures up, he just beats the living shit out of poor Douglas Aquino here. I wonder if you say Douglas in a special way in Brazil. Is it Dulas? Is it? How would you say Douglas in Portuguese? Douglas. Oh, Douglas. He just said it. I was wondering, and thank God the commentator tells us it's Douglas. Let's open up your ear holes and listen very closely. He tells us how you say Douglas in Portuguese.
Você vê que ele está em cima, ele está tranquilo. É a vantagem. O outro lutador, o Douglas, ele não sabe chão, então ele fica.
Douglas. It is Douglas. That's how you say it. He's getting popped here. He's trying to flail back, not doing anything, and ref, whoa, gets on top, stops the fight. There you go. He's still ready to fight though here. The ref is checking on the fight's over. There you go. Second time in a row at the second Universal Vale Tudo Fighting in a row. Fernando Churchiari is the victor against Douglas Aquino. Got some rockin' music playing here. Luckily, I don't think the Douglas says Chief 19. Yes, it's Douglas. Combate. I do like the rhythmic sound of Brazilian Portuguese. I don't know if European Portuguese is the same way, but Brazilian Portuguese, it's great. I really do like it. I could listen to guys talk Brazilian Portuguese all day. It's great stuff. It is really good stuff. So there you go. That was a quick pound out by Churchiari. Luckily, the hiss of the video, the hiss of our audio on the video here is so high that I don't think Google Hangouts would ever, and I was overblown there. I'm overblowing myself. See, I tried to raise the audio on myself here a little bit, but now I managed to make myself blow out. So there you go. We're back in the, oh God. Now I gotta turn it down. Hold on. Continue to listen to the video. I am blowing myself out now. I see it. All right. I think we're good now. Hopefully I don't go too much past into the yellow and red here, because that's gonna. Anyway, you might be wondering, what the fuck am I talking about? I'm watching my levels here inside OBS Streamlabs. Age of Reason is here. Hey, what's up, buddy? Strong finish. Looked like a bit of a mismatch on the ground. Well, considering they just previously fought at Universal Vale Tudo Fighting 5, and the result was much the same. I don't know why they pitted these guys unless it was like a grudge match. Anyway, that was a quick TKO. 1 minute and 10 seconds is the official record. Slightly longer. So a hilarious bit of trivia here, fight fans. If anybody, without opening up Google, can guess how long it took for their previous matchup to end in the same manner, TKO. I'll give you a cookie. I'll send you a cookie in the mail. Put your guesses in chat right now. Don't look. Just guess right now. I will declare you the winner of chat for the entire night. You'll be champion of chat if you can guess how long it took. Age Reason says audio sounds good now. There's Mark Coleman.
sport of
Mark Coleman here. He's looking pretty bad. The cameras they're using are making everybody. Chief 910 guess is 35 seconds. Good guess. I won't tell you if you've correct now or not. The camera or video is that they're using here is making everybody look horrifying. Mark Coleman looks absolutely he looks fucking horrifying. He's wearing a Bad Boys hat though. Here's some more guesses. Team Jesus says 30 seconds. Age of Reasons 2:57 round 1. That one guy you never want to meet 50. I think the answer is going to surprise you. It took 1 minute and 10 seconds this second fight. Let's turn up Mark Coleman here so you can hear him.
national champion, freestyle champion, Olympic champion. I make it to a world silver medal in 1991, and then I make the Olympic team in 1992. Oh no, I'm here as Kevin Randleman's coach. I've been his coach for 6 years. I'm very nervous. It's a great competition tonight, many very strong fighters, but he has prepared very hard, trained many hours, and I'm very confident he's going to win.
So there you go, a young,
Também presente
I say a young
junto.
he's just his neck, like where was his neck? I know he has no neck, but it was especially bad. Okay, so I guess we're done with the guesses since nobody else has guessed, so I guess everyone's given up. 1 minute 8 seconds. 1 minute 8 seconds was their first matchup. So it decided in the same manner, TKO, and I believe it was in mount too. So there's Carlos Barreto in our first of the heavyweight tournament here. The heavyweight tournament, Carlos Barreto is going to be taking on Giza Kalman. Giza Kalman, everybody. Big Dog, as he's known. He's from Canada. Giza Kalman was previously at the Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 4. He beat the aforementioned victorious Fernando Cerchiari in the opening rounds of the tournament, but then lost to Kevin Randleman in the semifinals. He also fought at UFC 10, the tournament, winning against Diazul Berto. He also appeared in Hook and Shoot, number 7. Prior to that, he beat Lance Tremel. And then he lost to Joel Sutton at UFC 7 Brawl in Buffalo.
I'm from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. And
he hasn't fought since the Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 4.
Not a real formal style. It's not like...
God, listen to this fucking guy. Is this this guy, has anyone seen that Canadian, what's it called, Hicks, Sticks, and hockey players or something or another? Hicks, Sticks, and something else. Has anyone seen that show? I seen like one episode and I couldn't get Canadian comedy. Canadian comedy is very situational, or maybe it's funny. The comedy of that show is based in the lingo and like the conversations they have. It's very Canadian. It's very Canadian, as the only way I can describe it. And it's not my cup of tea. I just don't. It was kind of funny, I guess, some of the things they said. I laughed at the most. I went over to somebody's cookout and they're showing it because they wanted the person having the cookout wanted everybody to kind of like get into the show because he liked it. And I laughed at like the moments that nobody else laughed at, and I felt bad. I felt kind of ashamed. But let's listen to this fucking guy.
A style like judo or jiu-jitsu or sambo, but I include a lot of submission holds from each one of the grappling martial arts. And I do a bit of boxing too. My expectations for today is, well...
Richard Gibson says he looks retarded. He looks like Sweet Pea from Popeye the Sailor Man, grown up. But you say he looks retarded. I say, yeah. He does. He looks fucking ridiculous. But let's not forget, as I just previously pointed out, Mark Coleman looked hideous as well. I think it's partially the camera, I think partially the lighting, and partially the resolution or the bit rate of the video.
Well, everybody's been talking about Carlos Barita. I don't know how to pronounce the last.
He is retarded. Listen, I am bad at pronouncing names. I'm probably worse than him. But no, I'm not worse than him because Carlos Barreto. There's no difficulty in pronouncing that. Even a dumb hick from Canada, if a dumb hick from Illinois can pronounce Carlos Barreto.
Grappling martial arts, and I do a bit of boxing too. My expectations for today is, well, everybody's been talking about Carlos Barreta. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but everyone's been talking about him all week. And, well, I've got him first round, and I know there's 6 other fighters also in this tournament who've got something to say about everyone expecting him just to walk through this. I don't think it's going to be as easy for him as people are putting it out to be. So, just going to do my best out there.
Well, there you go. May God bless him. Look at this is all that is man right here. This guy is all that is man. when God was creating the original Adam, this is what Adam this is the original template. The original template for man as created by God right here. He's standing right here. If I could zoom this in, I would.
Dessa primeira luta entre brasileiro e estrangeiro no ringue do Metropolitan. Ambos usando luvas. Luvas específicas para o Vale Tudo.
Essas pequenas luvas são mais para proteger a mão.
What the fuck? What the fuck is happening? Oh my God, what the fuck is happening? What has happened? I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized by what is happening here. We have to watch this. I was in a trance. Oh my God. Here we go. The ref giving a stern talking to. Go get him! He's got a cute tattoo on his back. He's also got he has got a wedgie going on. He's got the most severe wedgie going on. And he is a old sweet pea here. He dives in. He's trying to tackle him. He pushes him towards the rope, and there they go! Wow. Luckily, Carlos Barreto didn't break his ankle on that. He slides right back in. He's still ready to fight. This is not going to end good for old Giza. The announcer is. What is he got on his back there? Is that a bean? An American bean? You know, like instead of an American flag, it's the American flag in the shape of a fucking bean. Like seriously, this guy's got a bean. He's got a bean on his back that's got stars and stripes. I'm gonna try and get see if Alistair's around for a video call here. I'm gonna try and loop him in if fucking Google Hangouts will work. For God's sake. God help me. I don't mean to create or say blasphemy. Sorry, Lord. Let's hope it works though. I see Ye Lord 2 has joined. What's up, buddy? If you want to try and join, I got everything I think situated and working right. So the fight's about to be restarted here. Ye Lord 2 does say, "This is a work, brother." His ass eating them shorts up, yo, says Richard Gibson. Richard Gibson also says, he's shaped like a bean himself. Carlos Barreto here is trying to tee off, trying to get away from this guy who has seemingly no skill at all. His only skill here is to rush in and try and get close here and grab Carlos Barreto. But once he gets Carlos Barreto grabbed, what's his goal? What's his game plan here? These ropes are really loose. No wonder Carlos Barreto is going to fly out these fucking ropes again. But it appears they have a teleported in from Pride in Japan is a Japanese outside ref. The ropes are seriously, look how much room is in between this top rope and is that a rope? There is literally 3 feet. Carlos Brito is going to fly out again here. But luckily we have the Japanese ref out here helping, because the Japanese refs are expert at this. A lot of jeering from the crowd here. The ropes, this is atrocious. I could see why Universal Vale Tudo Fighting stopped with number 6. Because when it started, Universal Vale Tudo Fighting 1 and 2 in Japan, it was competent. Okay, it wasn't the best show. It was competent though. They look like they no longer care, and they slapped this fucking ring together. It's gone down the tubes. All the money that they had before has been spent. They burnt through all their money on hookers and cocaine. So now they need to put on a show, and they've got bungee cords as ropes. This is really bad. I could see why Universal Vale Tudo Fighting closed down. I can understand why for sure. Well, okay. I'm gonna try to restart Firefox here so I can get Google Hangouts working. Something is happening here. The fight has been briefly halted as our buddy here might be bleeding out the eye. He's really bad. Giza here. What kind of fucking name is Giza, by the way? Giza Bedlam. Whoa, he throws. He's got a lot of strength, though, as he twirled Carlos Barreto nearly out of the ring once again. Guy's got some fat boy strength. He picks up Carlos Barreto. Look at this, Carlos Barreto, that cheating fuck. That motherfucker. That cheating fuck, he's grabbing the ropes. And he clearly stopped himself from getting taken down there. The ref was nowhere to be seen on that, so I assume that the grabbing the ropes here is not legal, but the ref didn't seem to mind Carlos Barreto here. Straight up grabbing the ropes as I get a little closer. He's going to get taken down here by Giza, who picks him up with his fat boy strength. Awesome respect for Carlos Barreto here. Grabbing the ropes. There he goes. Grabs the ropes, that cheating fuck. And Giza there plops him down on the top rope. Eats a knee. I'm going to continue here on my quest to get Google Hangouts working. So don't mind me for a second here, fight fans, as I am not watching the video. I don't think it's going to end here while I'm doing this. I'm going to sign in. I'm going to dictate what I'm doing. I'm going to select my username and my password. It's password 1. Going to log in. Yeah, open up. There we go. There we go. It's working. Alistair. I don't think Alistair's around, though, but we'll see. Bandwidth out. Coming in. No thumbnail. There we go. I don't think Alistair's gonna answer because he's not back in chat. So we're in the corner here. Not much is happening. Whoa. What happened? The ref here, I think, might have been checking on him as he's guillotined. Giza's getting guillotined. And as Carlos Barreto here is flanked by his cornermen, I mean, they're just right up there on the ring apron. They have no control over this at all. He's getting guillotined. Carlos Barreto's got a tight grip. He tapped out. There you go. Giza, fat boy, lost. Go back to Canada. Carlos Barreto shaking his head. Carlos Barreto's in great shape. You look at him. He had to fight this fucking guy, this clown. Well, yeah. Sadly, but that was his first hurdle for this tournament here. Was Giza Bedlam, who goes down after 3 minutes in the first round to a guillotine choke. We'll be moving on to our next fight here, and just un momento, as they say in Brazil. They say un momento. Take down through the ropes. That gets some style points. Giza Kalman here. He would go on to fight approximately 7 more times, winning only once at Hook and Shoot Absolute Fighting Championship 1 in April of 97. He beat Brett Al-Azawi. Then he lost every single fight he had after that. He stopped fighting. Actually, he had one fight in 1999, then stopped fighting until 2006. He lost to Josh Hendricks, Kerry Shaw, Scott Wright, Jason Cecil, and Dan Fowler. He stopped fighting in 2008. He clearly was not cut out to be a fighter. Why did he do it, though? The money couldn't have been that good. The fame, he definitely was not getting... I don't think... Maybe he did get some chicks. Yeah, maybe he got a couple chicks. Jack O has joined us. What's up, Jack O? He says, hey, everybody. Unless it's Jack Zero, I can never tell. Is it Jack Zero or Jack O? Make sure you tell me, buddy. Ye Lord 2. Ye Lord 2 is not... I don't think Ye Lord 2 is online. If you do join, buddy, I think I got it fixed. So Alistair's not picking up. I don't think Ye Lord 2 is going to pick up either. Carlau, says Thiago Silva. Carlau. Next, we're going to see Dan Bobish. Anybody remember him? He's taking on Husamar. He's taking on Husamar Hippolito. Husamar Ippolito, and Husamar Ito-Lipos. I assume the H in his name. Here, I'm going to put his name in chat, and you all can practice saying his name aloud to yourselves. Maybe your loved ones will wonder what the hell you're doing. But hold on, I got to get over to chat. His name is Husamar Ippolito. I assume the H is silent in his. And here, I'm going to turn it up here so you can listen to. Oh, there. Everybody, I don't need to type it in chat. He looks with his shirt slightly agape here. Looks like this could be a casting couch for a gay porn. But let's go back here. He's kind of scary looking too. So his name right here, fight fans, I want you to say how you think this name is pronounced aloud. Juicy Mar. If you said Juicy Mar Hippolito, I love you. Because that's what I wanted to say first until I realized that it's Portuguese and it's likely Husamar, and I don't think you say the H. So I think it's Ippolito. But Thiago Silva, who is our resident expert, being that I think he actually lives in Brazil, would know for sure. And please tell me that it's okay if someone called him Juicy Mar. Juicy Mar. And Jacko did respond. He said it's Jacko. Okay, not a zero. Good to know. So there's Juicy Mar. Juicy Mar. They just said it. I think. Oh my God. Tell me. I fucked up the video here. So Dan Bobish is coming in. And I'm not going to go back to the. Forget it. I think he said Juicy Mar. That one guy you never want to meet says, looks like Brazilian Burt Reynolds. Thiago Silva says, yes, man. Richard Gibson says, these fucking names. So there's Dan Bobish. Boobish. His name, too, likely gets mispronounced. The Bull Bobish. I think it's Bobish. This is the fifth fight for Bobish. He had appeared at the Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 4 and lost in the finals to Kevin Randleman. So he almost made it all the way, but he lost to Kevin Randleman in the finals. He fought Ghetto Joe Charles. What's happened? I was reading and I wasn't watching the video. And I was taken aback by Dan Bobish's long, what do you call them, spandex? Like I see NFL players like wear that in training, And they have these, you know, muscly legs, and they look great in them. Dan Bobish does not look great in these. Tiago Silva says, that's it. You say Juicy Mar. So it is Juicy Mar. Okay. Juicy, he just said it. He just said Juicy Mar. I'm going back. The commentator says Juicy Mar. I thought it was Husamar. I guess it is Juicy Mar. That is an awesome name. If I ever have another son, I'm going to name him Juicy Mar. I'm going to turn this up so you can hear the commentator say it. I couldn't get any more perfect than that. Juicy Mar. That is a great name. So let's replay this here. So as I was telling you, Dan Bobish had previously, before this, in February of '97, about a month, actually about a week before this, where he gets slugged, but Dan Bobish slugs him. Ooh, puts him down. There goes Juicy Mar. The fight's over. He can barely stand up. Holy shit. Juicy Mar is done. Bobish! The commentator says, Bobish! A week before this, he fought Ghetto Joe Charles. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys here. He fought Ghetto Joe Charles at World Fighting Federation #1. And that was held... let's watch this now. I want to see this because he gets clipped. Ooh, Juicy Mar hits him right there. Ooh, but he just gets slugged. Good on Dan Bobish here. World Fighting Federation #1 was held in Alabama. So Dan Bobish is getting booed here. Why are they booing him? He just knocked him out. What the fuck? What do they expect from him? Like to go in there and just lose on purpose? Is that what would have made him happy instead of him fighting? Unless they're booing Juicy Mar. Now I could understand that. So Dan Bobish there is all fired up. Kapow! Not a lot of technique here on Bobish, but that left was good. And then another right on the nose. Wow, that was 1, 2, 3. That one right on the forehead just sends him back. So Bobish here rocked his world. So Bobish went from Alabama on February 27th. Let me make sure I got my dates here. Yeah, February 24th. February 24th, about 9 days later, he was in Brazil, beating up Juicy Mar here. Juicy Mar is out of the tournament, and Dan Bobish moves on to the next round. Well, what we've all come to see here, Kevin Randleman is going to be up next, and he's going to be taking on Baby Blue Eyes, Ebenezer Fontes Braga. Richard Gibson says Bobish wasn't really a skilled fighter, but he was a tough SOB. Yeah, I give him that. Yeah, I agree. Not a very common name here, so Juicy Mar is not a very common name. Juicy Mar. If I had a son and I named him Juicy Mar, I'd just be calling him Juicy. Like that would be his nickname, Juicy or Jew. And
No.
okay, so let's listen to he's broken English from our interviewer lady here. Dan Bobish remembers to take his mouth guard out. Very screen aware. So I'm going to turn it up so you can hear Dan Bobish here.
Did you expect it to be so easy?
No.
Why?
I expected it to go to the ground, do some jiu-jitsu, submissions.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
Okay, that wasn't much of an interview. Here's our ripped off graphics ripped off right from the UFC. Big bald buff guy. That is literally the logo for the UFC. But this looks like it was drawn. This looked like it was drawn by Giza Kalman. This was drawn by someone who's never drawn before and doesn't know what human legs look like, and especially what human feet look like. Human feet do not look like horse hooves. I've only seen one person draw feet worse. And now I can't remember his name. He used to draw the X. He came up with X Force. Somebody in chat knows his name. He famously never drew feet. If he couldn't, if he could hide feet behind rocks and off the panel of the page for the comic book, he would. And when he did draw feet, he didn't draw them very good. As soon as someone says his name, it's going to come to my brain. But somebody knows who I'm talking about. He also came up, I think, Deadpool. He created Deadpool. Here we go, Ebenezer Fontes Braga. Ebenezer Braga. He's going to be taking on Kevin Randleman. They're not that far. Let's see. Ebenezer's 28 for this fight. He's 23 años. Kevin Randleman's 23 años. The height here isn't... Ebenezer Fontes Braga has him by 6 kilometers? He has him by 6 kilometers? I don't know. Is that what they use? I know this is kilograms. Anyway. What I'm trying to say here is they're pretty close. They're pretty close in stats. Should be a good fight. Olympic wrestling is Kevin Randleman, according to the commentator. I don't know what filter they're using. There we go. We got our lady, our stacked ring girl, who's very sort of... she's got the ultimate... I wouldn't say she has much of an hourglass, but she has... It's like a teardrop. Or a... yeah, a teardrop. She's definitely a teardrop. She's not an hourglass. She's a teardrop. She goes fucking like whoa, crazy. This other gal too, though. Well, they both... Are they twins? Insane. Are women like that in Brazil a dime a dozen? I wonder. Here comes Kevin Randleman. He's got on headphones. He's ready to go. He's going to be cornered here by Mark Coleman, who had been coaching Kevin Randleman at Ohio State University. Kevin Randleman won one NCAA tournament. Or two, no, he won one, not in his freshman year, but in his sophomore and junior year. And my son is home. Hi, Bobo. You got the tablet? He won 2 NCAA championships, of course, coached by Mark Coleman, who himself had won an NCAA championship while at Ohio State University. And it was Mark Coleman who had encouraged Kevin Randleman to go into MMA and recommended he check out, I don't know how Mark Coleman, maybe Mark Coleman was offered a spot, or somebody from Universal Vale Tudo Fighting contacted Mark Coleman through the grapevine, whatever, for Universal Vale Tudo 4, and Mark Coleman recommended Kevin Randleman. And he told Kevin Randleman about it and said, hey, you know, you should go check this out. They're looking for a guy. You do really good at it. And well, Kevin Randleman did it. Universal Vale Tudo 4. You're back? Did you have fun with Grandma? Hold on. Daddy is going to be done pretty soon here. So my son just got home. And my wife. So here we go, round 1. This, unfortunately, is going to be the longest fight on the card. Surprising, maybe not surprising, because Ebenezer Fontes Braga is a wily veteran. I think Braga is luta libre. I'm pretty sure he's luta libre. He is experienced enough to know that he does not want to get into a ground war with Randleman. And I don't think Luta Livre has a whole bunch of on the ground. I think it has a little bit on the ground. It's more of a well-rounded style. Whoop, outside the ring. Oh, my God. Is Braga okay? What the fuck? This is horrendous. Their ring here is horrendous. Thiago Silva, Ebenezer already fought Sakuraba in Pride at this point. Had he? So this is March 3rd, 1997. No, he doesn't fight Sakuraba until July 1999. I thought that sound. I don't remember seeing Ebenezer Fontes Braga that early in Pride, and then I remembered, oh, Pride didn't start until August of 97. Thiago Silva also says Luta Livre and Muay Thai fighter. That's kind of redundant, isn't it? Luta Livre is mostly a stand-up, isn't it? I know they try and compete with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, but I don't think Luta. When I think of ground fighting, I don't think of Luta Livre. So Ebenezer Braga's back in the ring here. There's Coleman giving some instruction to Randleman. Randleman here is ready to pounce. I wish he would, but unfortunately I hate to be a spoiler here, fight fans. This fight is the longest fight on the card, and it goes the distance. How long have we got here? We've got 2 hours to fill here. So don't be surprised if I start fast forwarding and skipping this. Don't be surprised. But while we soak in this fight here, this so far great, amazing fight. Nothing's happened other than Braga flew out the ring. Soak in this fight. I'm gonna go refill my drink. I will be right back. I'm gonna turn it up so you can listen.
Mais chute colocado pelo Ebenezer. Mais uma cinturada ali. De novo a preocupação perto das cordas. Joelhada do Ebenezer, hein?
Você vê que ele trabalha muitos golpes do boxe tailandês, que é o chute na coxa, é a joelhada. O Ebenezer é um lutador completo, pode-se dizer.
Marcoleman ali muito próximo. O Valdir Pimenta fica só olhando. A quarta corda já foi colocada. Por isso que o Valdir não está muito preocupado. Agora está ali só preocupado em vigiar ambos.
Está aí o Randleman aproveitando sua maior massa muscular, sua maior força, né? Tentando empurrar e manter o Ebenezer preso ali às cordas.
O Ebenezer se fecha, se protege. A preocupação do Randleman também é segurar as pernas do Ebenezer para não levar outra joelhada. Ebenezer tenta colocar socos, olha só, puxou ali o Randleman, acabou se dando mal. Mas voltou muito rápido, o Borracha destacou muito flexível, hein? O homem parece que quicou ali no chão, né?
É uma explosão muito grande que ele tem.
É forte norte-americano, Randleman. Olha só, mais uma joelhada.
E o Ebenezer está conseguindo ali fazer um bom trabalho aí de braço, que chama-se esgrimar, para não deixar ele cinturar. Ele bota o braço por dentro, o Ebenezer também vai e passa o seu braço, como agora.
All right, I'm back, everybody. Let me turn this down. So this fight has gone really nowhere, even though we're in the corner now. Kevin Randleman's very sweaty, but so is Braga. Let's be real here. You know they don't have any air conditioning in this dungeon that they're having this event at. So let's fast forward here. Oh, we get to the ground. There's some elbows from Ebenezer Fontes Braga. But something's happening. The ref here is trying to stop it or find a place to stop it. He's got his hand out ready, and it is stopped. It looks like they have a plastic sheet. So the ref is in there grabbing Braga by the neck to drag him into position. But we're going right back. Oh, those some good punches there from Randleman. Braga, though, seems like he didn't feel any of those. Now he's trying to put in the ref here. What the fuck is happening? The ref is desperately trying to move the fighters. Wrong way, buddy. Stop the fight, move the fighters. Now guys from the outside, random people. And the ref is telling them no. They are being surrounded. They are being surrounded by people from outside. And they're going. I just said that. Braga was there for a second, and then like magic, he slips off the plastic sheeting. It looks like he just squirts away. He's there. Okay, so this is like a car wreck. Right after a car wreck, and Braga here looks like he's dead. This is hilarious. This is great stuff. There he goes. Whoop! Oh, boy. Randleman here is fired up. The crowd is stunned. Oh, Braga's back in. The fight's already restarted. This is a travesty. This whole event is really bad. Again, I totally understand why this is the last ever Universal Vale Tudo Fighting. They lost all how do I want to put it? They lost every bit of ability they previously had to put on a fighting event. They just gave up. It all came apart. Like, you pull on the thread and your shirt falls apart. That's what happened here with Universal Vale Tudo Fighting. And I don't know if it was mismanagement, if it was lack of, care from whoever was managing it. They just didn't care of the outcome. They didn't care of the product at this point. Whew, it's really bad. So Thiago Silva here says yes. Yes to what, buddy, old pal? Chief 910 says, oh, maybe he's saying yes to Chief 910. Chief 910 had said, thought Luta Livre was mainly ground fighting and rivaled BJJ. Richard Gibson before had said, Luta Livre, a mix of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. So my question is, Luta Livre, I never really seen Luta Livre on the ground, though. Like, every Luta Livre fighter I've ever seen has been a stand-up fighter. Not one of them has been a ground fighter. So Braga here is in the forward headlock position. Randleman's head is through his legs, and Braga, a crowd has formed once again on the outside. I also need to change my cursor. There we go. We're going outside the ropes. Randleman is trying to wrestle him outside the ropes. I'm gonna fast forward. This is might be funny what happens, but I do here increase rate. There we go. That way we don't miss the fight. But I am going to turn it down so you don't have to listen to this fucking annoying. So we're in a corner here. Not a lot is happening. There's a knee from Randleman. The crowd looks on. Randleman. Output is 0. Up, we punch. Go to the ground. Elbows from Braga. Ref stops it. Braga's out of the ring again. Braga's going all the way around to the steps. Remember when Giza fell out of the ring? He just slid right back in like it was a pro wrestler. We're standing up here now, which is nice. I think they got a plastic on the mat here. It's like a tarp. It's like a tarp. Oh, Braga's out of the ring again. Holy shit. How many times is he gonna fall out of the ring? Oh my god, stop. Okay. So Giza Kelman has appeared and knows what Braga is feeling here because he too fell out of the ring. There he is. he looks like a monster. He looks really bad. So I'm gonna reset the rate here. He's screaming as a kid behind him is getting a chokehold. What is happening with this event? Richard Gibson says the Luta Livre guys were usually rivals of Gracie's. They felt their way of fighting was superior to the Gracie way. Yes, yes, I am aware. But I'm wondering, was Luta Livre really a ground-based fighting system? I've never seen a Luta Livre fighter fight. I'm serious. Every Luta Livre fighter I've ever watched has been a stand-up fighter. They've never fought on the ground. Oh no, it's just a kid with the peace sign over Giza Kalman's head. I don't know what minute of the fight we're into here. We've got a long way to go, I think. So, record number of times. How many times can a fighter fall out of the ring before they realize they need to shut the promotion down? There's some haymakers from Randleman. There's a high kick attempt from Braga. This fight is fits and then nothing. Like, stuff will happen and then nothing happens. Richard Gibson says, I remember Tank Abbott effed one Luta guy up on the ground. And I don't know why I just censored what you said. I've been saying, I've been cursing all night. If my attempt, and you know what? Why should I care? We can't even monetize videos on YouTube anymore. Like, the channel has been banned from monetization because YouTube's reasoning for the monetization, lack of monetization anymore, was because we used other people's content that wasn't ours. So because of that, we'll never be able to get monetized ever again. Well, we're back on the ground here with Randleman on top as the ref just casually walks over them. I think Braga's tooth just flew out of his mouth. Did you all see that? I'm going to try and capture it here. The moment the tooth is flying out of his mouth. Let's go back, 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 go back. Where is it? Right there. So that is Randleman's tooth. Wow, that thing flies. Okay, so, I thought, there it goes. There goes something foreign. This is like the JFK bullet. So it appears, maybe it's spit from the crowd. It just sort of appears like there it goes. It's rocketing away, and then it comes back, and it curves. It is the magic bullet that killed JFK right there. You see the trajectory of this thing? It comes out, and then it goes away. Thiago Silva says Luta Livre Budokai team at the time. Chief 910 did say Tank smashed Hugo Duarte. The one guy you never want to meet did say only ground Luta Livre fighter I seen was Hugo Duarte. Yeah, and Hugo Duarte got famously, everyone's seen that video, or if you haven't, he fought Rickson Gracie on a beach in Brazil and got punked out pretty bad. So the fight stood up here, I guess. Is it over? The crowd is starting to fight with Mark Coleman, and Giza Kalman is holding Mark Coleman back, who's got on amazing denim jeans. I guess the crowd is either heckling or maybe they threw something at Coleman. Coleman wants to fight. Them Brazilians in the crowd, I don't care if they are Brazilians. You don't want to fuck with Mark Coleman around this time. Mark Coleman is pretty scary. Thiago Silva says Hugo Duarte and Eugenio Tadeo. Fights restarted again. Kevin Randleman says the commentator. All the action in this fight has been happening outside of the ring. With Braga falling out of the ring. There was a bitch slap from Randleman. Richard Gibson says Coleman was crazy as hell. Well, nobody's joined my video calls here. my repeated attempts. So I don't think Alistair is around, and I think a Ye Lord 2 left. He was here for a second, and then he's gone. He left. I don't think anyone's around. Two nice shots there from Randleman. Whoa, he's fucking him up. A knee from Braga. That one guy you never want to meet says Coleman will fuck up the whole crowd. Coleman was a beast, a killer. No way I would fuck with him, says Richard Gibson. Yeah, especially circa 1997. Now, he would kind of lose some luster later on, you know, around 1998, 99. But during this period, you know, Coleman was, I think, just coming off winning back-to-back UFCs. Definitely would not want to mess with him. So I don't know why the crowd is either egging him on, heckling him, whatever they're doing, they better stop. But I think they escorted Coleman to a different side of the ring. that was their solution, not to get him out of that situation. I think they just escorted him to the opposite other side of the ring. Age of Reason's joined us. What's up, buddy, old pal? Thanks for coming. Randleman roided to the gills. He was on that Mark Coleman diet of horse pills and whatever else you could imagine. We're in a corner here once again. There's been some hard shots thrown. I wouldn't say this is a boring fight, and it's not for a lack of effort. I think both men have been trying to hurt each other, and here comes my son. What do you got? You got Max? You got two Max. You can go play with them? Yes, Max. You got two Max. My son loves cars, the Disney cars, the toys. You got two Max. You gonna tell everybody you like cars? Yeah, you tell everybody. Say hi, everybody. You tell them what you got. You got what? Tell them what you got. You got two Max? Max. 1, 2. You like cars? All right, go put them over there. Oh, you gotta put him there? Okay. He's gonna, I think, go get more cars. Yeah, I haven't seen you all day.
I gotta talk.
Oh, you gotta talk? Okay, you're gonna commentate? You're gonna tell everybody what's happening, the action in the ring? Okay, you tell everybody what's happening in the ring. Okay, did the guy crash? Oh, you want to listen? Richard Gibson asked, do you think roid use contributed to Randleman's early death? Didn't he die of heart complications? I think possibly. Hold on, everybody. I'll be right back. My wife, I think, is in the bathroom, and my son needs some attention with a dirty diaper, so I'll be right back.
Olha o Randleman. Chegou a dar uma escorregada ali, né?
Ele tomou toque de perna ali do Ebenezer.
Na boca já tem ali também sangue do Kevin Randleman.
É que o Ebenezer soltou alguns bons golpes que também deram para fazer alguns experimentos no Randleman, como esse da boca que você observou e o supercílio.
Ambos já bem desgastados. Dois leões no ringue do Metropolitan.
O público está mandando ele apertar aí, mas um lutador como o Randleman não vai bater no estrangulamento em pé.
Está separando o Valdir Pimenta. Final de combate. Vamos para a decisão dos jurados, então. Primeira luta que termina, vamos para os pontos. E aí alguns dos melhores momentos. Diz que até agora foi sem dúvida o principal combate. Série de quedas para fora do ringue por parte do Ebenezer Braga, jogado por algumas vezes, outras empurrado pelo Kevin Randleman. E sem dúvida foi um bom combate, né, Borracha?
É, até agora foi o melhor, realmente mostrou toda a variedade de golpes, tanto soco, chute, queda, foi muito boa a luta.
Expectativa de vitória para quem?
O Randleman acertou mais golpes, foi mais combativo na maioria da luta, mas o Ebenezer também tem o seu valor.
I'm back, everybody.
Como você havia dito.
Chief 910 says grueling fight. Yes, it was a grueling fight. 20 minutes. Ooh, look at that one. That was another good shot right there. So, grueling fight wasn't a boring fight. It was long, but the guys both tried to finish it there, or they at least put in a lot of effort. Diego Silva asks, how old is my son? He's almost 3 years old. So anyway, that fight's done. Kevin Randleman got the decision, gets a hug from Braga, who's got Jesus on his back. Where's my, oh damn it, if my widgets worked, I would play this, but they're not working. Let me try it now. Not working. Damn it, my stupid widgets aren't working. There you go! It's about time. There you go, Jesus. Anytime I need that now, it's right there. We're on to our next fight. We're just gonna see Big Daddy. Big Daddy, Gary Goodridge. He's just being called Big Daddy here. And this is like incognito. You might be wondering, looking at the screen, and I just kind of spoiled it for you. But you're looking at it, it says Big Daddy, and he's taking on a Mario Sukata, also known as Mario Neto. Who is Big Daddy? Well, that's Gary Goodridge. So I ruined it. I could have left it as a surprise, and as you wondered, who's Big Daddy? Richard Gibson says Randleman always brought it in his fights. He did. Here comes Sukata. It's Canada taking on Brazil once again. It's funny that Gary Goodridge, I believe he was always from Canada, but he had he represented that one country. Maybe he was, I don't know if he was originally from there. I don't think he was. I think he was born in Canada. I forget the name of the one country, though. Maybe I can see it real quick. Let's see. No. Speaking of Big Daddy Watch, unfortunately, Big Daddy Gary Goodridge hasn't been on Twitter since the beginning of the year. Mario Neto needs to undress here. Big Daddy, I don't think is in the ring yet. There he is. He's getting in the ring now. Gary Goodridge was on his world tour of MMA fighting promotions. He would fight at Pride later in the year. Pride 1. Of course, devastating knockout to Oleg Tokhtarov.
É o que eu disse, já vem bem confiante, tem a vantagem da luta de chão, mas o Big Daddy também é muito forte. E as lutas
and I'm trying to see, I'll tell you about the whirlwind tour of Gary Goodridge here.
Travar bem os lutadores de chão. Não se sair no
just prior to this, UVF, prior to UVF number 6 here, he fought at UFC Ultimate 96, lost to Don Fry, lost to Mark Coleman at UFC 10, the tournament. Was in UFC 9, UFC 8 is where he started. Don Fry, let me put on pause real quick here. Don Fry was like the kryptonite for Gary Goodridge, because Don Fry beat Gary Goodridge in the final of UFC 8. Gary Goodridge had beat 2 men that evening before falling to Don Fry. He lost to Mark Schultz at UFC 9. Mark Schultz in his, was that his one and only MMA fight? I think that was famously memorialized in a fight movie. No, he had 2 fights. He also fought at Jungle Fight 1. So my bad. But being honest here, Gary Goodridge's record at this time, I think people were more afraid of him than what maybe they should have been, because his record wasn't that great. He was 3-3 coming into this fight. But after this, he would go to IVC number 1, destroy the competition that year at IVC number 1, including beating the Pedro, our favorite Pedro Otavio. Then he would fight at Pride, and he would pretty much join Pride, only fighting occasionally in between Pride events at different events. So here we go, Gary Goodridge versus Mario, whatever they said his name was, Sukata. He's listed as Mario Nito on SureDog, so not sure what's real. Who do you think's gonna win here, Gary Goodridge or Mario Nito? Mario Nito is a pretty soft-looking fellow. Gary Goodridge is a big, scary, muscly man. Richard Gibson says Cooksul 1, which is the fighting style that Gary Goodridge was paid to represent for his first UFC. Of course, he had no idea what Cooksul 1 was. I think he could barely pronounce it, but they paid him some money to represent it and say that it was his fighting style. Now, that's how you promote your fighting style. You pay a guy who's never trained a day in it, or I think he went to a couple of trainings, just so they could officially say that he trained in it, and that was so effective that he was going to use it in the UFC. I think it was bullshit, though. So there, the ref is admonishing Gary Goodridge for grabbing the ropes. Everybody, do you recall when Carlos Barreto full-on grabbed the ropes to impede that one fat white guy from picking him up and slamming him? And you remember how our ref here, our Brazilian ref, didn't do anything to admonish or reprimand Carlos Barreto from doing that? Do you all remember that? So here we have Gary Goodridge inadvertently grabbing the ropes, and the ref is on him like a fucking stink on shit. He is all over Gary Goodridge. He's really on Gary Goodridge here. So clearly there's some favoritism from our ref here, who is enforcing the rope rules against Gary Goodridge, but didn't do shit when Carlos Barreto was doing it. Gary Goodridge is going to smash this guy. I don't even know who this Carlos Nito is. I could tell you a little bit about him, I guess, but I don't think it's really going to matter. So Carlos Nito here is done. Is almost, I thought he was done there. Carlos Nito, actually, his record isn't too bad. This was his second fight. He had, I guess he was supposed to be beating or fighting the UFC guys when they came over to Universal Vale Tudo Fighting, because at Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 4, I don't remember this, but he fought Dan Severn, and that fight went to a 40-minute decision win for Dan Severn. So Carlos Nito here, Mario Sukata Nito, excuse me, I called him Carlos Nito. Mario Nito here fought Dan Severn for 40 minutes. I don't remember that fight, but I think it was so bad that either it wasn't shown or I fast-forwarded through it. Age of Reason says, this guy is about to get a beating, I hope. Chief 910 says, let's go, Gary. Richard Gibson says, Brazilian definitely had more advantage. Biased refs from that one guy you never want to meet. That fuckhead ref cheater, says Richard Gibson. Yes. Yeah. Clearly, when Carlos Barreto full-on grabbed the ropes and that effectively neutralized Giza fat white guy's slam, and that slam could have been something that maybe changed the outcome of the fight. You never know. I'm not saying that that fat sweet pea looking fucker was going to beat Carlos Barreto, but because that slam never happened, maybe Carlos Barreto bruised a rib, or maybe, you know, he fell on his neck and he was paralyzed. You never know what's going to happen. But the ref straight up, oh, there goes Gary Goodridge. Is that legal? Oh my God, Gary Goodridge, smart man here, and Gary Goodridge is already back up, getting back in the ring. Gary Goodridge, cunning. Fucking cheater though. Straight up, I guess he's seen everybody else sliding out of the ropes. Gary Goodridge said, well, why the fuck not? Here I go. Bye-bye. Oh, that's hilarious. He gets back in, though. Steps over the top rope. He's ready to fight. He does the Undertaker over the top ropes, and he's all pumped up now. This is great. The crowd is jeering now. The crowd would have a lot more to jeer when Gary Goodridge fought at IVC #1. Totally disrespected the crowd by doing all sorts of crazy shit in the ring, including putting his hands down the pants of the Pedro Octavio, like his shorts, and doing something to Pedro Octavio, doing something that had scared Pedro Octavio so much, like gave him shell shock. Like Pedro Octavio just stopped fighting after Gary Goodridge borderline molested him. Gary Goodridge is all fired up here. The fight's restarted. I talked to Gary Goodridge a little bit with the Good Vibe about his exploits at the International Vale Tudo Fighting Championships 1. And I think he kind of downplayed his antics. He kind of downplayed what he did to the Pedro. I don't think he remembered clearly exactly what happened. He probably, kind of put it out of his mind or didn't really want to think about that stage of his career. There's a knee from Goodridge. But I think he scarred Pedro for life, because I don't think Pedro fought that many times after that. I think the Pedro only had a couple more fights. But I'll tell you in a second here. No, scratch what I said. Pedro had a long career after that. He had a long career. Semi-long. He fought a whole bunch of more times until 2001. So I was wrong. I misremembered. Richard Gibson asked, did he rape him? He twisted his dick, says the one guy you never wanted. It was rape if you consider the fact that Gary Goodridge did not get permission from the Pedro to do whatever Gary Goodridge did to the Pedro's, to little Pedro. Gary Goodridge here has double underhooks. Double underhooks. Hucks, I call them hucks. Underhooks as snot drops out of Nito's. Gary Goodridge could have kneed him there. Gary Goodridge should have. He almost gets a wedgie. Gary Goodridge's muscular buttocks is very visible through his trademark tight spandex shorts, his bicycle shorts. So Gary Goodridge hasn't been on Twitter, and Gary Goodridge was very active on Twitter, and he stopped at around the beginning of the year. Now Gary Goodridge, and this is in no way, shape, or form a criticism or condemnation, has converted to Islam, and he's pretty serious about it. So maybe his conversion and belief now, I guess Mario Nito's the winner? What happened? Gary Goodridge, maybe his conversion to Islam has, he wanted to get away from Twitter. Because, Gary Goodridge is a semi-famous guy. Gary Goodridge is trying to get on the back here, misses. He gets up, he gets slugged. We're in against the ropes here. Gary Goodridge taps out. He must have got hurt. Maybe he lost a tooth. Gary Goodridge there, something happened and he taps out. Gary Goodridge maybe did not want to get his teeth busted out. Maybe he was concerned with his face. He taps out here. Something happened. But Gary Goodridge maybe, again, as I was saying, he's a semi-famous guy. And I remember one time, and I think he probably deleted this tweet, but he had tweeted out, and I didn't save a screenshot of it. I'm not that type of person. But I'll tell you about it now, anecdotally. He had tweeted out that he was sick and tired of, he said he's not gay, and he's sick and tired of guys sending him pictures of their penis. And he railed against people doing that on Twitter. So he was, maybe his newfound conversion to Islam, and he was still getting sent dick shots of guys in his DMs. Maybe that's why he stopped using Twitter. It was one of the most hilarious tweets I've ever seen. And if Alistair was still here, I think I shared that with Alistair at the time. Maybe I shared it with somebody, and it was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous tweet. I would almost want to search Twitter and see if it's still up, but I would say that Gary Goodrich probably deleted that tweet. The one guy you never want to meet says dehydration on his wiki. We just watched it. Did that look like it was dehydration? Maybe it was, but it's probably 100 degrees in this dungeon that this event is taking place on. They don't have air conditioning, or at least they don't turn on the air conditioning in these places for these events. This is notorious in Brazil. These arenas don't have any air conditioning, or they're too cheap to turn it on. Richard Gibson is laughing about my anecdote about Gary Goodrich. I think Devilish Face says Gary Goodrich isn't gay. He's not a homosexual, referencing our favorite Heath Herring moment. Here's Carlo Barreto. He's going to be taking on Dan Bobish in our semi-final matchup here. Kevin Randleman's going to be up next. He's going to be taking on the previously victorious Mario Sukata Neto. So that should be an interesting matchup. Then Bobish. They call them Bobish. I think it's Bobish. I don't know. We have some more ring babes here. Here comes Carlos Barreto in his gi with all his pieces of flair that he has on his gi here. I like Carlos Barreto. I'm a fan of Carlos Barreto. I do like Carlos Barreto. I think he was a good fighter. Unfortunately, we'll never see him in Pride again. He was last seen at Pride 9. He would never return to Pride. Unfortunately, I'm just kind of sad about that because I like Carlos Barreto. But we also will never see... Dan Bobish is on top here. He's pounding out Carlos Barreto. Wow. The crowd is stunned. Carlos Barreto here needs to regain his composure. He's getting popped in the back of the head. Not sure what's legal in terms of strikes for this event, but shots to the back of the head, I guess, are legal. He's trying to drag the face of Carlos Barreto so he could punch it. Carlos Barreto successfully pushes him away. He's trying to get his legs up to maybe set up a triangle, but I don't think he was going to have any success there. It's sad that most of the Brazilian guys that had come in to kind of, Carlos Barreto is busted open. I think he's busted open. Let's see. It looked like he was. Maybe not. No, this is just, he looks like a fucking monster. This camera, Bro Juice Underfoot, he says, laugh out loud. Dan Bobish's appearance has always made me laugh. So perfectly round and a weird name, Bobish. He also says it's Bobish, B-O-B-E-ish. Bobby-ish? Bobish. I think it's supposed to be Bobish, not Bobish. Carlos Barreto looks like he's a demon right here. What the fuck is going on with this camera and lighting they have for this event? All the Brazilian guys that they brought in to pretty much save Pride from like Pride 4 till about Pride 10, Pride 9. Well, after the Grand Prix, so Pride 8 was the last Pride before the Grand Prix, and then Pride 9, Pride 10. From Pride 4 to Pride 8, they brought in all the Brazilian guys like Fontes Braga, Barreto here. And among others, to pretty much save the promotion, to bring in some legitimate outside talent. So a lot of credit can go to the Brazilian guys who came in to help save Pride. Anyway, that's my opinion. You might disagree. Thiago Silva chimes in. He says Carlos Gracie now has an estate in Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana. Is that the name of it? He calls it the Copacabana. We're back on the feet here. Carlos Barreto is looking to try and avoid these ham hocks from Dan Bobish. He tries to shoot down. He gets a leg. He's going to take him down. Dan Bobish, though, he's kind of fat. He still has abs. I'm going to rewind it here because he's a fat guy. He's kind of like me. I've put on some weight. I'm not my beautiful self like I used to be when I would say 10 years ago. He's got abs. Maybe not. You can see maybe a little definition of muscles. They're in there. They're there. They're in there. They're just hidden by this fat here. That's kind of like me now. You can still see my abs. There's just a fine layer of soft jelly hiding them. Bobish here with good balance, but the ref is he's back to say nope, you can't grab the ropes. Gary Goodrich, it looks like he's rehydrated. He's in the corner of Bobish here. There's Gary Goodrich. So he went back and had a Gatorade. And he is cornering Bobish here. Bobish keeps grabbing the ropes. He kind of kicks Barreto there. Listen to our beautiful Brazilian Portuguese commentators here. I do like it. I do like, I said it earlier, I do like Brazilian Portuguese. Very rhythmic. And I don't know if European Portuguese is the same way. Something tells me it's not. And that's a signature Brazilian thing. That one guy you never want to meet says, I say he looks good for 300 plus pounds. Yeah, I'm not at 300 plus pounds yet. I'm 250 pounds plus. It's funny though, and you know what? Maybe it's just with age, because I'm getting on there in age. I'm getting up there. But there was a long time where, you know what? My diet hasn't changed. But what has changed, I will say what has changed is back at, I guess, the height of my physique. When I was at my best physical shape, maybe 2009, 2010. Probably 2009 would be the year I was at my best physical shape, even 2010 a little bit. I was shadow boxing every night for like 30 to 40 minutes. Every night I was just shadow boxing. And my diet hasn't changed. I still eat the same shit that I used to. I probably eat better now than I used to because I actually kind of watch what I eat. And I used to drink a lot. Maybe that was it too. Does drinking help you lose weight? Does drinking hard alcohol, not beer, I was never a beer drinker. I was always a hard alcohol guy. Does drinking hard alcohol keep you slim? Ye-Lord 2 says, I watched a fight between Rulon Gardner and somebody in Pride. Yeah, I think that's at Pride 2003 Shockwave. I thought his win against Carolyn was a fluke, but he won his Pride fight. Maybe it was later then, now that I think about it. Yeah, he barely beat Carolyn. In fact, you might be able to argue that the decision could have went either way. Bobish here better watch himself. He might get armbarred by Barreto. Barreto's a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. But for the longest time, I ate like complete shit. And my metabolism must have been just so high because I didn't put on any weight. Like, I could eat like crazy. Absolute, like I had a worse diet than I have now, and I did not put on any weight. I've been slowly inching up there from, I would say, my physical peak at 225. I'm now about 255, sadly, despite my best efforts. I just don't have the time. Probably what I need to do is go back and like shadow box every night for 30 to 40 minutes. I think I'd be okay. Yelor 2 says he only won because he was really heavy. Bro Juice Underfoot fills us in on what Shockwave it was. It was 2005 Shockwave versus Yoshida. Thanks, buddy. Against Carolyn, that is, says Yelor 2. Thanks for clarifying, buddy. Well, we're under the ropes here. The ref is trying to sneak in there to get him out of the ropes. The ref should halt the fight and move the fucking fighters. That one guy you never want to meet says, I haven't weighed 255 since I was 15. Meaning you've lost weight since then? Or gained it? I have the benefit of, like I said, you can still see, you can still slightly see my abs. You can still slightly see my abs. Which is why I find it funny how guys, and I don't work out like I used to either. I never really worked out. I did a couple things here and there, but I never went to the gym. Never went to the gym. Everything I did was at home. Yelor 2 says, who is this knockoff Dick Vry? Who are you talking about? Who's the knockoff Dick Vry? I've retained my muscles despite my decreased amount of working out and exercising. You look at guys that are on like steroids, like Vin Diesel, they go off the steroids and they stop their workout plan for like a month and they lose every bit of muscle they ever had. It's crazy. Lauren Berrien says, why isn't my comments going up on the thing on the screen? I don't know, buddy. Hold on. I paused it so I can take a look here. I'm going to fix it just for you, buddy. Because you joined us. And have you ever joined one of our live streams here? Thanks for joining. I think I've recognized you before here, but I could be wrong. I have a very bad memory. But anyway, let me, I will fix, if you're not getting your stuff on the screen here, we'll fix that right away. So your stuff will come up on the screen all the time. I click that, and I come down here, and right there, scroll down, there you go. Yes, I've been here a bunch of times. Lauren Berrien. Well, sorry, Lauren. I guess I haven't seen you before. Maybe you've never said a comment. But now you should be able to say whatever you like. So we're out of the ropes as Bobish kind of kicks Carlos Barreto away here. Carlo. He's slow to get up here. I think he might be gassing out. He might be dehydrated too. Oh, he gets ready though, and they exchange punches. Back in the corner here, we're clinched. Bobish retakes control in the corner. He's fading quick here. Give her a wrench, says Yelor 2. That's what I did. Your life again, you TAF Bist, says Ermax. No, I have commented a number of times, says Lauren Berrien. You're alive again, you TAF Bist, says Elmax. It's all good though, says Lauren Berrien. So see, now I can see your comments. Maybe if you commented before, Lauren, I never seen your comment. Maybe because it was getting filtered. I don't know. Are you a spam account? When is the next Pride coming? It's coming. I was working on it today. Dan Bobish is done. He's busted open. Devilish Face says, when you have top chat, it doesn't show any messages with curses. I have live chat. I've turned it on live chat, though. Anyway. I'm pretty sure I have it on live chat. Almost positive. I don't want to check it though, because I got it working, because if I change it, it's going to go back to where it's not transparent and we can't see our lovely men back here. So there's the end of the fight. Bro Juice Underfirst says, for being so tired, these guys ain't doing half bad. Good action. It's so far it's been an enjoyable tournament. Even the long fight of Randleman versus Braga wasn't a bad fight. It had a lot of hard-hitting action in it. So here we go. Carlos Barreto's moving on to the finals. He will await the winner of Kevin Randleman versus Mario Anito here. Mario Sukata. I say Devilish's face like the most dangerous man says pride. Demolition. Devilish face. It's not devilish, it's devilish. Devilish. Lori Berriman says, I love to curse. What guys can't handle a woman that curses? I don't know. I don't think any of the guys in the chat. Here we go. Mario Sukata versus Kevin Randleman. Sukata actually has Randleman outweighed here by about 8 kilos. Bro Juice Underfoot says, we can individually switch between top and live chat. I know you guys can, but I have my little chat box here on screen that is in the video. I have that set to live chat. Lauren Berriman says, I hope Randleman rapes him. What? Why would you want to see that? Let's go, gentlemen, says Chief 910. Brown belt, purple belt for Sukata here. A faded black belt. Looks like a black belt that's been washed too many times. So Mark Coleman's back. He's cooled down. Hopefully the crowd doesn't egg him on again. Sukata Randleman. Yelor 2 says, after Hustle Hoedown, I kind of want to see more of Randleman in pro wrestling. We'll get to see him more in Hustle. He and Coleman. Coleman was supposed to be featured in Hustle 1, but they cut that wrestling match out for some reason. Maybe it was bad, maybe it was horrible. So they cut it out from the DVD release or the VHS release. But yeah, Randleman and Coleman form a faction with Takada, so they get featured quite a bit. They actually form a tag team in Hustle. Devilish Face says, you like to watch people get fucked for free. I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna fuck him up, says Lord. Let's go, Randleman, stupid autocorrect, says Chief 910. You meant to say, let's go Randleman, not let's go gentlemen. Lauren Berrien says he better have a good damn gun belt. Takada Monster Army, says Yelor 2. Yes, the Takada Monster Army. With Coleman, Randleman, and Giant Silva. Ref here is about to do karate chops. He's in a fighting stance. He's about to do kicks or something. He's ready to go. He's ready to pounce. I don't even think he's looking at the fight. If we look at his eyes here, they're kind of going out that way. So I don't think he's exactly looking at the fight. But he's ready to go. Whatever happens. Devilish Face says, watch me fuck up Mark Kerr for free. This Saturday I'm gonna fuck Mark Kerr for free, says Yelor 2. Yelor 2 says proceeds to fuck Mark Kerr up. You guys are referencing something that I guess I'm missing here. Was that what commercial is that? Is that something that I shared? I don't think so. But fill me in here, because I'm kind of missing what you guys are putting down. Randleman here is trying to sneak around to take the back. He has back from the side. He's trying to control Sukata, who spins and spins out the ring. He spins right into the American's corner. Randleman is applauding. Why are you applauding, Randleman? Nito is walking around to get back in the ring. I saw it on MMA On Point. Jeff Monson versus Mark Kerr. Oh, I forgot his name. It's Jeff Monson promo about Mark Kerr. Okay. Okay. I'll have to see this. So they're referencing something about Sukata versus Big Daddy. Sukata here is a Big Daddy himself. As I said, he's outweighing Kevin Randleman. Kevin Randleman, who is very, very muscular. The guy has gigantic thighs. He can jump about a mile into the air. And in fact, that's something that they showcase on Hustle. He jumps ridiculously high. I'm pathetic. My jumps are pathetic. I can get off the ground, but I've never been able to get close to the rim of a regulation height basketball hoop. I can't get close. I'm 6'2", but I can't jump. I can't jump at all. When they say white men can't jump, it is true for me, at least. I know some white men can jump. Or some white men have been able to jump. It's not me. So the men are kind of locked up here, and unfortunately, it seems that Randleman is measuring himself here. If we recall from Universal Vale Tudo Fighting number 4, he blew through the competition. Whoa, there's a judo throw from Kevin Randleman. Who expected that? Randleman. At Universal Vale Tudo 4, he relatively blew through the competition. It took him 5 minutes to beat Luis Carlos Maciel. He also beat Giza Kalman, aforementioned scene Sweet Pea. It took him 5 minutes to beat Maciel, 7.5 minutes to beat Kalman, and 5 minutes and 50 seconds to beat Dan Bobish in the final. So far tonight, he's fought Ebenezer Fontes Braga for 20 minutes, and this fight has been going on for at least 6, maybe 7 minutes so far. So Randleman is taking his sweet time tonight. Chief 910 says, motherfuckers can't stay in this friggin' ring for shit. So he said motherfuckers, and then he says friggin'. Chief 910. Why are you censoring yourself? 8th ring out, says the guy you never want to meet. Yeah. And Ebenezer Fontes Braga accounted for like 5 of those ring outs. Yelor 2 says, Randleman's hustle entrance was my shit. That vertical leap was insane. Yeah, he's crazy. I'm Pedro. I don't want to, I wanted to have the Pedro like over here, but I didn't want to cover up Legends Never Die at all. I previously had the Pedro like right here. He was standing on the shoulders, like he's a little miniature. Let me keep fixing this here. There you go, put him right there. Chief 910 says, fucking Coleman roid raging around. Yeah, he's pumped up. He is pumped up. I think the crowd's been egging him on, heckling him, spitting on him, throwing beers at him, throwing toilet paper at him. Whatever they've been doing to him, they've pissed him off. Now Randleman is all over Nito here, who's curled up. He's turtled up. He's just trying to hold on here and defend. I think Nito has lost every bit of gas he had. Randleman's going to have his way with him, but I think Randleman's kind of gassed out too. He's holding on. He tries a knee. Nito rolls. Nito has dirt all over him. It looks like his tattoo's rubbing off. You see that? Has he got a fake tattoo? It's somebody did it with ink, like a pen. You know, they did it in the back, and look at it. It's like it's all dirty over here, and those are bruises.
Novamente fazendo o rolo aí, o sucata. Chão muito bom.
Yelor2 says, so that's why the Gracies always look so disappointed on these streams. Like, they got, yeah. I like the Pedro. I like the way he looks, even though he is one of the stupidest looking men ever. I like the way he looks. We're slowly inching to the corner here. Ooh, hard shot from Randleman there, but he stopped. He should have kept on doing that. There is, it looks like, so I think the team of Coleman, Goodridge, and maybe Bobish. I don't know, because there's Gary Goodridge is now just on the ring apron, unless he's just an observer at this point. Like these guys just. There's no control over who approaches the ring in this event. Again, I can see why they didn't do another Universal Vale Tudo Fighting, because it's messy. This is a messy event. Unless Goodridge is in Randleman's corner, maybe. But then he would have been having to fight because Gary Goodridge fought Mario Nato. So if Gary Goodridge had beat Mario Nato, he would be in the ring fighting Randleman right now. Whoa, my son's here. What happened? You want to play? Yeah. Okay, Daddy's almost done. We'll play as soon as Daddy's done. Oh, no. You want to come sit and watch? Here, come sit down. You can, okay, watch the fight. You can tell people what's happening. Did he crash? Oh, you want to listen? And tell people what you see.
McQueen crash.
Oh, McQueen crash? What's happening on the screen? Randleman, he's on top. He's trying to punch. Does a punch? You gotta watch. You say when he does the punch.
Punch.
Punch. Oh, he hasn't punched yet. Oh, he punched. Oh, he punches. Look at, he's punching. Punch. What are you doing? No. You don't talk there, you talk there. Is he punching? Is he kicking? You gotta tell people what's happening. You don't want to have dead air. You gotta tell them. Tell them what you had for lunch. Did you have Fruit Loops? Or did you have Lucky Charms? Lucky Charms? You like Lucky Charms, don't you? Do you like Lucky Charms? You're done? Okay. You want Lucky Charms? Okay, I gotta go get him some Lucky Charms because now I mentioned Lucky Charms. So I'm gonna turn up the... Okay. I'm gonna turn this up. I'll be right back.
Novamente tentou o rolo, o sucata, mas dessa vez o Randleman travou.
O número de socos que vai colocando ali por cima da nuca, na cabeça do Randleman.
O sucata está numa situação difícil. Apesar dele ter lutado com o Daniel Severn, ele não pegou uma situação como essa que ele está pegando com o Randleman.
Uma cotovelada ali contra o rosto do Randleman. Parece que o sucata está sem tônus muscular para sair de uma situação dessa, né? Como o americano gosta de chamar, parece que está sem estamina.
E ele já está aparentando um certo cansaço também.
Pois é.
Oh, I'm back. I was going to post a funny joke on Twitter. You know, they do that joke where it
Troca de
says
golpes, na verdade,
woke,
não aconteceram, né, nesse
and
combate.
it's like
A luta é muito mais travada, muito mais
some
amarrada
sort of
no
whatever
chão.
action or opinion. And then they have the broke, and it's like maybe a competing action, you know. Has anyone seen that meme? Anyway, I was going to do a woke and broke joke. I was going to put woke. Lucky Charms made with only the marshmallows and then broke would have been Lucky Charms made without the marshmallows. But anyway, my son, he likes Lucky Charms. But when I say he likes Lucky Charms, he just likes the marshmallows. And I just like the non-marshmallow pieces. So it kind of works out. He eats the marshmallows. Then when he leaves the bowl that's filled with the regular cereal part, I eat it. So there you go. Randleman is the winner via submission to punches, it says, after 11 minutes. Let's read some chat here. Bro Juice Underfoot says, man, if the monster ever did serious submission grappling training, his top control submissions and ground and pound would be scary as hell. Bro Juice Underfoot says, cuteness overload. Chief 910 says he should have kneed his fucking skull in. Yelor2 says the marshmallows have the worst texture. Are you talking about Lucky Charms? Yeah, they're kind of like dried out, like chalky. They're kind of a weird texture dry, but my son likes them. Go with Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are the best all-time cereal ever, and I had a serious discussion with co-workers one time where we spent 2 hours ranking the best top 10 cereals of all time. And Fruit Loops, I believe, had won. Everybody in agreement. Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops is like seriously the best cereal ever made. I could eat it every day. Fruit Loops is great. Bro Juice Underfoot says Kevin is feeding this boy some Lucky Charms right now. Some good shots in the corner a second ago. Yeah. Hickson won those tournaments because he picked bad fighters so he could win. Yuki Nakai lost the final because his eye was damaged and he was in pain. He would have beaten Hickson if he wasn't injured, says Elmac Z. Hickson controlled his professional career pretty tightly, and he did pretty much fight only Japanese pro wrestlers, except for the couple times in the Vale Tudo tournaments he fought random nobodies that weren't Japanese pro wrestlers. But most of his victories were against Japanese pro wrestlers, except for Masakazu Funaki, who had become a seasoned MMA fighter but had started his career as a pro wrestler. I don't know if Hickson would have beaten Yuki Nakai that night. Yuki Nakai had an injured eye, but Hickson also took it easy on him because he knew that Yuki Nakai's eye was seriously injured. So there is that. Yelor2 says, is that a response to my Anjo comment? Elmax says, Boss Rutan wanted to fight him. Hickson didn't want to. Robert Steen says, you know you can get bags of just the Lucky Charms marshmallows, right? Not that I've ever done that or anything. Robert Steen. Thanks, buddy. I think, don't you, can you buy them prepackaged or do you have to go to one of them cereal stores? Like, doesn't Canada have like stores with just like bulk items? You can just go in and just spoon stuff out. They have, I guess, they probably have those somewhere in America. But I guess they're pretty big in Canada. Elmax says, Boss would have destroyed him. Yelor2 says, I'm still pissed Hickson turned down the Boss fight. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that fight was ever going to happen. I don't think Hickson would have ever fought Boss Rutan. But then Boss Rutan obviously was suffering some pretty bad injuries. So you know what? Maybe Hickson was afraid for no reason. Because I think if he would have accepted the fight, maybe Boss Rutan would have still taken the fight, even though he started to habitually get injured due to a nagging neck injury, I think it was, that was causing his other injuries. I would also like to see Hickson fight Sakuraba. So this is the referee, I guess, explaining his refereeing. And we're going to go to the final here. The final sees Carlos Barreto. Carlo Barreto taking on Kevin Randleman. Robert Steen says, I think I've seen them for sale prepackaged online. They're huge bags, though. This should be an interesting final. I don't think I would ever imagine seeing Carlos Barreto and Kevin Randleman fighting. Elmax says Hickson's job was to promote BJJ, and he would have lost face if he lost his matches. I think Rickson Gracie was kind of promoting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I think that job fell to Royce with UFC #1. Hoxton, or no, not Hoxton. One of the Gracies, I forget his name. Hobson. I think Hoxton was Hickson's son. Hobson Gracie, I think, had been a part of creating the UFC, and it was created, and Royce was put in there to promote Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Not that I'm saying that Rickson wasn't promoting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he was more out for himself. In fact, I think I've read stories where the Gracie family was at odds with Rickson because Rickson was going out to promote for himself and not promote for the family and promote Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. He was out there for himself. Anyway, I think it was Pride Before the Fall. This book I bought from an independent writer. I won't say I talked shit about the book. I guess I wasn't 100% impressed with the book. It was okay for an amateur first time publishing a book. Maybe I sounded a little too harsh because I think the guy unfollowed me. He was following me before. I don't even think he watched our stuff, but maybe he did. I did talk about his book a little bit. I purchased the book from him and I read it. It's called Before the Fall, and it's about pride fighting. It had a lot of anecdotal stories, though, and about Rickson Gracie and stuff like that. And I think that's where I read one of the stories about the Gracie family was actually kind of upset. Helio Gracie mainly was upset with Rickson because Rickson was in business for himself.
Pouco, podemos dizer até muito de tudo, né, Borracha?
Hoje em dia não dá mais para você ser lutador de uma única luta. Vale tudo. Você tem que ter uma noção.
I would have to check to see if the guy. I would be curious to see if that Before the Fall guy blocked me due to my critique of his book. Pretty much my critique came down to the fact that it was there was a lot of disconnect between the paragraphs and the way it was written. It would like go from one subject to the next without any segue at all.
Carlão Barreto e Kevin Randleman na tela do Sport TV dentro de instantes.
Oh no, he still follows me. I don't think, like I said, I would be surprised if he actually watched any of the videos. I think I mentioned it on a live stream. I don't think he watches anything that we do anymore. So here comes Kevin Randleman, and we got some wild music being played. It sounds like 1989 game show music. This sounds like Family Double Dare. Is this the theme song for Family Double Dare? Chief 910 says, remember how bad Royce was destroyed by Mount Hughes? Now let's remember, Royce Gracie was like 40-something years old. And listen, we could all admit Royce Gracie was a one-dimensional fighter. Royce Gracie had one thing and one thing only, and that was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the Gracies, at the original Gracies, or the third generation Gracies that we all know, being Rickson Gracie, Royce Gracie, maybe Renzo Gracie, they weren't known for being really diverse fighters. Matt Hughes was the evolution of the MMA fighter. He had multiple. Okay. I will. He had multiple expertise in fighting styles. Elmax says you should create a chat room at the Cam chat site. Don't remember its name. Is that Discord? Is that like a 24/7 chat room? I don't know how popular it would be.
pessoal, né, o Borracha?
I don't know if anybody would show up.
Eles estão bem profissionais.
But I don't know. Maybe people would. So here we go. One round of non-stop fighting. It's gonna this is gonna go on for however long these two boys go. And no spoilers, but settle in, fight fans. This one's a long un. It's a long un. A log un. Long un. I'll type in chat what I'm trying to say. Because I can't say it.
Entrar no raio de ação do Carlão, que tem uma envergadura muito grande, tanto de braço quanto de perna.
Bem superior a do Randleman.
There you go, fight fans. It's a long one. So not a whole lot has happened so far. There's a leg kick by Barreto, who's got a couple inches in height and probably a couple inches in reach over Randleman. Randleman has his guard way up high. Carlos Barreto isn't that tall. But he's got his hands almost like a foot above his head for his guard. Really high guard here for Randleman. Lots of muscles. Have I mentioned how muscly Kevin Randleman is? So far, these boys are being very cautious here in their engagement. Carlos Barreto, though, has at least been throwing. There's a counter strike from Randleman. Maybe that's Randleman's game plan, is the counter here. But so far, it's just been Carlos Barreto using his reach to kind of fling some stuff out there. Nothing is really connected yet. Randleman hasn't engaged at his own behest yet. He's merely countered. Devilish Face says, yes, biggin. It's like biggin, but it's a longin. We're about to embiggen this stream. Not a word Trump has ever said, but somebody attributed it to something that Trump said. Embiggened. I'm going to put it in chat here because it is one of the funniest words I've ever seen. And if Trump said it, I would give him some nods of respect. Embiggen. I think that's how you spell it. Embiggen. We're gonna, maybe it's embiggen. Embiggen. We're gonna embiggen it. Elmax says, two oily, muscular beasts. And apparently embiggen is a real word. Embiggen is a real word, according to enlarge or grow, to make or become bigger. 1984. New verbs. It was coined, or it was included in a book called New Verbs in 1884. 1884. Embiggen. That is a great Trumpian word, but it's not a real Trumpian word because I don't think Trump has ever said it. We're in the corner here. I've just noticed the ropes are actual ropes. They're not. They usually have like a cover or like a coating on them. These are straight up hay barrel ropes. Like they're frayed and everything. That's ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. This is like backyard wrestling. You know, backyard wrestling, they also use just like straight up, like ropes that you use for horsing, for horse wrangling. It's hilarious. It is god awful. This event is so fucking bad. But it's got charm, I guess. It's got charm. So yeah, Carlos Barreto here is, I didn't realize he was so much bigger than Randleman, but I think Randleman is only what, 5'9"? He's not a very tall fighter, and Carlos Barreto is listed at, I believe it's 6'3", 6'4". Okay, so Kevin Randleman's listed at 5'10". I was close. I said 5'9", and Carlos Barreto is listed at 6'4". So yeah, there's about 5 or 6 inches between these two men. Cheap 910 says Randleman has Barry Sanders' thighs. HMW Pyro 18 says ropes tied around trash cans. Yes, they are the shittiest, like hobo ropes. You know, like when a hobo is wearing a rope around his waist so his jeans don't fall down. That's the type of ropes they're using for this event. Robert Steen says, I wonder how often people got cut by those ropes. A few fighters have even been sliced by the coated ropes Ryzen has. Yeah, they probably would get rope burns. A fighter had to stop because he got rope burns. Carlos Barreto using his reach and height here as he just jabs, 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 and he squats. Oh, counter attempt by Randleman. Randleman here's game plan appears to be to wait for the taller fighter to get close and then try to counter. But he's eating a lot of strikes that aren't really connecting, but they are... I was gonna say that they're probably going towards the judges, but I don't think there's any judges for this fight. I think this fight goes until there's a winner, some way, somehow. Randleman is definitely not taking the initiative here, though. He is waiting to counter, and he's being pushed back a lot. There's a light leg kick by Barreto, who's doing something with his hands here. I don't know if he's talking to him or what. Looks like he's jabbering his mouth. Elmax says a lot of rugby takedowns are actually very good takedowns you can use in MMA and wrestling. Somebody should come up with a rugby martial art, like a grappling system based around rugby. I think you might have a winner there, Elmax. And if you make $1 million idea, make a book about it. Write a book like it's the new Metro self-defense system based on rugby. You know, it's like for all the hipsters and you know, the rich snobby people in Beverly Hills and Palm Beach, Florida. You can make $1 million bucks. If you do, you just got to send me a little bit for giving you the idea. But if you write a book, I think you could probably scam stupid people out of money. Elor2 says, I made a Discord for you, the most dangerous man alive today. There's the Discord, everybody. Excuse me as I cough. So everybody go into the Discord and biggin the biggin the population of the Discord. I gotta create an account? Is Discord also made by Streamlabs? Let's see. Hold on here. Because it looks like I think does Streamlabs own Discord, or does Discord own Streamlabs? Sorry, Fight Fans. I'm looking to see if there was a Discord app inside Streamlabs here, but I don't see it. Okay, so I gotta make an account here. Email is already registered. Claim your account to keep all your servers and chats after you close the browser. Okay, so I'm trying to do that. It says email is already registered. Yulor2 says, I don't think it's Streamlabs. Elmax says, it's 4:14 in the morning here, though. I'm on my cell phone, but I'll look at print screen and will log on when I go to my computer. Are you over in... Where are you at, Elmax? Are you over in the UK? You should get to bed. It's pretty late. Oh, hey, Yelord. Did you register that to my email, priderez@gmail.com? Because I'm trying to use that email. Anyway, I'll figure it out later. Not a lot's been happening in this fight, I guess you could say. At least no super exciting action. Sweden, says Elmax. Well, thanks for joining us all the way from Sweden. We appreciate it, buddy. I'll mess around with that Discord stuff a little bit later. We're here in the corner. Randleman's in control, I guess you could say. Yellow2 says, nope, it's made from my account. Okay. Maybe I already have a Discord account that I didn't realize I signed up for Discord. I'll have to play around with it. I don't want to stray too much here. Let me see. Let me see if I can recover my password. Oh, look at that. It said sent instructions to your email. Oh, so I did create a Discord account. That's great. Maybe I'll just make it my own Discord already, since I already have an account. Muddy Mudskipper says they need to make this more interesting and throw a naked white woman in between them. Whoa. Elmax, just type your email and I'll send it to you, Elmax says. Thanks, buddy. I did it. He also said, I've been following you since your very first video. I believe I was on one of the first subscribers. Wow. I should send you a poster. I'll send it all the way to Sweden. Just to say thank you for being such a long subscriber and long supporter of the channel. I appreciate it, buddy. Up against the ropes here. Not a lot is happening in this fight. So hunker down, fight fans. We still got quite a bit to go here. This one's a bit of a marathon. It's not as bad as some other marathon fights. Yellow2 says, quick, the most dangerous man alive today. Favorite color? A fire truck. There's a knee from Barreto. As Randleman here. Ooh, they're both super sweaty. Holy shit. These guys are just trading sweat. Randleman regains control here. Not the best fight on the tournament here, but not the worst fight I've ever seen. I can name a couple fights that are worse than this. Most notably, Yoji Anjo versus I think it's Sean Alvarez, maybe something or another, something like that. One of the worst fights ever. Yuhi Sano versus Hoyler Gracie. One of the worst fights ever. Dan Severn versus Chemo, Pride 1. One of the worst fights ever. Robert Steen says, you think Mark Coleman would have taught Randleman to do some headbutts? I don't know what was legal and not legal in the strikes. I don't think headbutts were legal though. But definitely I would imagine that that would be one of the first tricks that Coleman taught. And it looks like Randleman has a puffed up eye here, as the cameraman might be trying to get it. Looks like his left eye has a giant ball popping out of it. If we can get a better look at it here. The video is such a horrible quality, though. It's hard to tell if that's matrixing of the video or or if he's got a giant bulge above his head, his eye there. Lauren Berrien says this is the one where Randleman gets choked out and Coleman goes crazy at the end, right? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Coleman is right there in the corner. Barreto here has a bulge in above. What the fuck is happening with these guys and their these hematomas popping out of their heads here? Looks like Barreto has a giant hematoma coming out of his right eyebrow there. And I think Randleman's got 2 hematomas. We'll have to see. We get a good look here. Oh my God. I think what is happening to Randleman's? What is this? What is happening? This is this for real? If we get a good look at his face here. All right, backs away. Cameraman, get a good shot here. Oh my God, they're not showing it, and the video quality is so bad I can't tell from this distance. And that was, unless that was just the wrinkles of his face, which is also possible. There's a straight kick that just brushed the nose of Randleman. Lauren Berrien says he jumps up on the apron after 4, and Lemon goes out saying he wasn't out when Randleman was limp. What has more stickers than a BJJ gi? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot of stuff. There's a lot of flair on a BJJ gi. Lots of flair. So again, the cameraman is not helping here, as I'm trying to see if there is bruising, bulging hematomas. Lauren Berryman says Randleman's face has 2 giant hematomas. That's why I'm trying to get a good look. I can kind of see them. I can kind of see the shadows here. It's like there's one like continuous hematoma across his brow. I think Barreto has a hematoma though. Elmax says, I trained judo for 5 years. Stickers were absolutely illegal in matches and in classes. So you couldn't, on your gi, you couldn't have any stickers? You couldn't have any flair? That's funny. Our rope is about to burst here. Look at this. Our rope is bursting away. Elmax says, my club did not allow blue gis either. Now, why was that? Oh, my son is back. Okay, Daddy's almost done. We're almost done. Almost done. Did you eat your Lucky Charms? I'm gone. All gone? Yeah. Good job. Daddy's coming. Daddy's coming. No, you gotta go. I'll be out there in just a second. You want Cars 3? Yeah. Okay. I want Cars 2. You want Cars 2? Yeah. Okay, I'll go turn on Cars 2. Hold on, everybody. I think both their faces is kind of fucked up. Elmax, please answer. Why does your club not allow blue gis? Is it because that's a Sambo color? I'll be right back. Okay. You want Cars 2?
O Carlão tá ali preocupado com o cordão da luva, né? A amarração da sua luva. E o Randleman já não está mostrando mais aquela movimentação que ele tinha.
Ele está aparentando estar mais cansado do que o Carlão.
Praticamente fixo ali, parado o Randleman.
Agora é a hora do Carlão começar a fazer a sua luta, o seu jogo.
I'm back. Traditional rules, I guess, only in professional matches were you allowed blue or white because it's international rules. So, what color did you guys wear if you couldn't wear blue or white? I'll be right back.
Joelhada do Carlão de novo. Atingiu a linha de cintura do Randleman. Mais uma joelhada. E agora os dois no chão. Vamos ver o que acontece.
A essa altura, esse jogo pro Carlão é que é o bom agora. É ele começar a trabalhar seu chão e ir cansando mais ainda o Randleman com sua guarda.
Não segura nas pernas do Carlão. Tenta partir de novo pro ataque. Carlão usa bem. Ele se protege muito bem com as pernas do Carlão. Tem um jogo de chão muito bom, Carlão.
Well, this fight is still.
Essa é a característica dele, uma guarda.
It's still going at its pace here. As Randleman jumps down into guard. Probably not a good idea. I think he split his shorts underneath his, and that's just maybe it's the outline of his jock strap. But I think he blew out his bikini briefs or his what is this shape? There is an outline here, unless it's I don't want to say it's Pope that is just kind of like wrapped around here. He's either blown out his shorts, his bikini briefs, or his Speedo, or that's the outline of his jockstrap. Let's see what was happening in chat. LMAX says, like in World Championships or Continental Tournaments, white, so you can wear white gis in your training, or at your club. Varian says, Randleman gets caught in a triangle choke and goes limp. Coleman jumps up on the apron saying he wasn't out. Okay, we'll have to wait and see. Only white was allowed. So your club wouldn't let me grapple with my red gi and a large dude wipes sticker. LMAX explains, maybe in trainings, but not in. This is the end here, says Varian. We'll see as the spandex split, says Lauren Varian also. So we'll see what happens here. Waiting for the end. God, I hope the end's coming soon. We're getting down to the wire here on our video. 159 minutes, or an hour 59 minutes. We're at an hour 52. Ain't got long to go. I do want to see Mark Coleman go ape shit. If Mark Coleman goes ape shit, I do want to see it. This is a grueling fight. This is a slog. I would definitely call this one a slog. I'm not going to say this is one of the worst fights I've ever seen, but it's been a slog watching it. And I don't think the Gracies are, the two Gracie brothers are impressed. Barreto here might be thinking the elbow in the back of the head. He might be, how do I end this fight? And he's got a hematoma. He clearly has a hematoma right there on the corner of the bridge of his nose on the right there. And I still haven't got a good look at Randleman. But Randleman probably looks like a monster. Oh, I briefly saw something here. Dang it. It looks like it's white and puffy above his eye. You can kind of see something's going on here. Right there. Hello, everybody. I think I'm back. I have actually switched over to OBS, regular old OBS, and not use Streamlabs, so we can finish this out here, and hopefully this all interconnects and YouTube takes care of me here by cutting out the part that has been sort of a dead air. I think I'm back. I'm hoping that I'm back. Refresh the page. Refresh everybody. We should be back up and live. So I'll wait for confirmation from all you guys. Okay, back on. So as soon as I get it's back. There you go. Okay, everybody. If you haven't refreshed yet, refresh. Let's finish this up. Let's finish watching this fight here. And oh, hold on here. I got to change my playback device here. All right, here we go. We're gonna finish it up. We ain't got much more to go, so might as well finish it out. I was gonna say, I better call it quits. You know, my son hasn't seen me all day. He wants to see me. My wife wants to see me, but we're almost finished here. Not much longer. Plus, I want to see Coleman go nuts. So Randleman still with somewhat steady work on top here. I would say he's winning this position, but Barreto, dangerous fighter, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Randleman would have to be careful here. Chief 910 says, well, thanks, the most dangerous man alive today. It's always fun. I'll be waiting for the next live stream later. Sucker head kick now. Hashtag it's back. Refresh. It's back. Refresh. Buddy old pal. I just told him. If you haven't yet, refresh your browser, everybody. Though it doesn't help for me to tell you when you are just seeing a blank screen. There's a hammer fist from Barreto. He's getting up. There he goes. He's setting up maybe for a triangle. He's going for it. He's getting ready for it. Oh, here he goes. Sweaty Randleman. He's starting to get choked. Uh-oh. They're surrounding the ring. It's not locked in. This triangle choke is definitely not locked in. Randleman's hidden his hand away here. Barreto does not have it behind the knee. He falls down. The ref stops it. Randleman is back up. He's trying to hold. Nope. He clearly wasn't out there. Randleman was not out. Coleman is on the top. Oh, he gets shoved by the ref. He gets ejected. He's told to get away. The ref pushes him. The ref shoves him as if they're in a fight. That's funny. Great stuff. Wow. I just had to check to make sure the stream was back up. To confirm it was. Well, Randleman is pissed. There we get a good look at the bulge in between on the right eye there. It's got a nice lump. I'd like to see Randleman's face. Bullshit call, says Chief 910. Yeah, because Randleman was still defending. It might have fell down, but the triangle was never locked in. It was never behind the knee. It wasn't tight. It wasn't cutting off circulation for sure. This is not locked in. This is not a tight. Okay, Randleman puts pressure down, and yeah, when he rolls, that's kind of a bad sign, but it wasn't done yet. Robert Steen says, "What a shady ref." Yeah. So there we go. That's the end of our event here. End of our video. I don't think there's anything after this. Oh. God, I hope this wasn't the DVD screen that they use. This is the. I don't think they made this. I think the Russian that I download this from. This is his creation. The DVD screen here. All right, fight fans, that's it. I gotta go. It's been fun. Thanks for joining me through all my technical difficulties and terrible general stream ability. But thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll be back next week. Since we're done with Universal Vale Tudo Fighting, I'll put up a poll and let's figure out what next to start watching. But I'll be working on Pride Resurrection tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have that ready to go. Get Good Vibe, the video file, and we'll be off to the races. Hopefully we'll get the next one recorded within the next couple weeks. Thanks everybody for coming. I love you. And see you next time. Bye.